Hello, this video is about my special thanks to those who contributed their stories to my website. First, we have Nessie Ryder's story, The Umbrella Adventure. It's a story of a girl whose brother wants to go on an adventure to the mountains. Although she claimed herself to be more adventurous than her brother, she hates being sweaty and dirty and thus refused to climb the mountain, but their mother told them to accompany her brothers. Side note, it's okay if you don't want to go, just don't go. But our heroine followed her brother on a would-be dangerous adventure anyway. Before they go, their mother gave them a huge umbrella. On the way to the top of the mountain, a downpour occurred, and our heroine and her brother were in a desperate situation. Her brother saw big water droplets forming a river. He came up with an idea. He told his sister to put the umbrella upside down. They used the umbrella to ride down the river as if they were in a water slide, and they reached their home safe and sound. And oh boy, our heroine was upset because she was soaking wet and dirty. And their mom called out to them that tea was ready in a way as if she thought that her children had a little fun in the garden and did not express a single worry. But that was indeed a great example of a children's literature. Then we have Hannah's story, The Magic Pen. It's about a girl called Anne who is a quiet girl and whose father had gone to war. Then she found a magic pen under a tree, and a fairy came and told her that the magic pen can make anything she draw on paper. So she as well as her friends came to try it out. They drew an ice cream, and the ice cream turned out to be delicious. It's like having an infinite number of magic wishes. If anyone possesses a pen such as these, one can never go hungry. One no longer need to work on boring jobs to earn a living. In the end, I do think the story lacks a sense of urgency, but it does have a lot of potential possibilities, such as perhaps the father died during the war and Anne decided to use the magic pen to resurrect her father, and unseen consequences began to follow. Or maybe the military had the knowledge of the magic pen and wanted to obtain it in order to create more weaponry, and thus they began to chase after Anne and her family. Next we have Boxton and her story, A Shitty Reunion. A reunion between old classmates. Girl Zoe works as his IT company while boy Matt works as a handyman. They both met each other when Zoe called someone to fix her toilet bowl, which she had broken within a month after she had moved into her new apartment. After some friendly conversation, Zoe even offered to lend Matt her bathroom to clean himself up after he had fixed her toilet. It was a sweet slice of life story, and I highly recommend you should read it. Next we have Mercy Earl and her story, The Next Day. It's about an office lady on her way to work, saw Angelo working in a cheesemonger shop and decided to hit on him. The heart-to-heart interaction was so long and explicit that you might think that she had forgotten that she had work to do, and it would take her a great deal of time to try cleaning up the mess she had made. But after all, fiction is fiction, and then we have Collection Store and her horror story, Suspicious Remark. It's about a guy who stayed at his uncle for his studies, and his uncle often came home late after work. One day he stumbled across a piece of paper with a cross sign made in blood, and it led him somewhere in the basement. Then he saw a ghost of a child pointing to a mysterious chest. Then he saw a giant demon who attacked him, and he woke up and found that it was just a dream. Or is it? My first impression is that this story is like playing Granny, a horror game, where you woke up for round 2 or 3 after being hit on the head in an attempt of escaping the house. Last but not least, we have Returning to the Past by Alfred. It's about a scientist who was stranded 30 years in the future. At first, he and the other scientists experimented with particles, moving them in nanoseconds into the past and future, and then with mice in minutes. And then they became more ambitious, play around with time, and decide to travel 30 years into the future, and the main character decides to volunteer. The problem is that he could not bring the time machine with him, so he told his colleagues to leave the place untouched until he returned 30 years later. Unfortunately, the lab exploded the moment he left the present, putting him in a predicament, a possibility of not returning back to the past. It's a great story, and hope that he will eventually find clues to build the time machine again. That's all for today. Hope you all enjoy it. Feel free to share your story on my website and get free reviews.